Hello everybody, welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I'm here to review the Netflix anthology series, Love, Death, and Robots Season 2. Now, I never talked about the first season of Love, Death, and Robots because that shit was wild. The first season of Love, Death, and Robots on Netflix is just insane. And it really pushes the boundaries a lot because I mean it's on the adult side of animation because most of the episodes, they're little short 11-minute, 12-minute episodes, individually different styles, different stories, just small little compact episodes, and all of them are so different from one another. It's crazy. Like, at least I felt like, at least the first season, all of them were so vastly, and the second season still does that too, but they're so vastly different. Me and Seth watched this together, and it was just fucking, a fascinating watch. I mean, one story is about some girl, one story's in more of a 3D kind of like, and like one story's in like this 3D kind of like, semi-CGI style, about a woman who saw a murder. Another story's in like a 2D style about a fox spirit in this steampunk world who becomes like a steampunk fox vigilante. Like it's crazy. They're all, one of them is 2D, like takes place on this planet with bugs. Like, they're all so different from one another that it was just, watching that first season was just fun. It was just a fun thing. Like, some of them work better than others, but it's an anthology. Some work better than others. It's right there with Tales from the Crypt and the Elvira thing. Like anthologies are not as common as they used to be. And like, there's like two different kinds of anthologies. There's the was it Castle? No, not Castle Rock. What was it? There's ones where it's like each season is individually a different anthology. Like it doesn't connect, but each season is something separate, and something else is happening this season. Then the next season. Then there's the ones where each individual episode is contained within itself. There was just something that came out on Hulu near about Halloween. I forgot what the name of it was, but it was like a horror anthology. Like, anthologies can be fun. Anthologies can be fun because anthologies can be just like nice little punches of like a story. Like anthologies can it's like writing a thesis, I suppose, because you have to get right down to the core of what you want to talk about because you only got so much time, and I mean, most people, if you ask most writers and most people who work on films and animation, when you ask most storytellers in general, they feel like they don't, when you're making a film or a show, you might not have enough time to do everything you want to do. So imagine having to pack it down to a small little chunk. Like, you have to pack the story down to 12 minutes and tell your story and get to it and get to the most important parts of your stories and get across everything you want to get across in 12 to 11 minutes. And like I said, I enjoyed the hell out of the first season. First season was so wild, so over the top, so crazy, like just in vastly different ways. The second season was a little bit of a letdown. First of all, it's 10 less episodes. The first season was 18 episodes. The second season is 8. So that's a lot less episodes. It's kind of like Black Mirror, because if you like, Black Mirror is an anthology too. There you go. There you go. An anthology, Black Mirror. Which, shit, man, I should probably review that one day. That's Black Mirror is whoo, man, Black Mirror is it's a rough one. Like, what? Man, I'm telling you right now, if I watched Black Mirror and then went and watched Handmaid's Tale, I would be an alcoholic. Like, if I watched all of that in a row, just non-stop, I'm pretty sure I'd become an alcoholic. Because those shows are just, they're a little heavy, man. It's a little heavy, and it's too much weight to be putting on your mind. But, Black Mirror is also an anthology, but Black Mirror gives you an hour, though. See, Black Mirror gives you like 30 minutes to an hour to sit in an individual episode, whereas this only gives you about 10 to 12 minutes, which is why I didn't get why they cut the episodes down, because it's only 10. So one of them's like 6 in the second season. One of them's like 6 minutes. Ironically, that might have been the most funny one. But they play with dark comedy. They play with different tidbits. Some of them take place in a world that looks very similar to ours. Some of them take place in a dystopian future. Some of them take place in just all kinds of different situations. But generally speaking, this season was sort of a letdown. Not only because it didn't have as many episodes, but because it toned down a lot. Now, I've already looked at reviews. Some people are gonna like the tone down, and some people are not gonna like the tone down. But like it toned down. Like I don't mind it pulling back because I heard some people complain about the first season. Like there was too much nudity and too much blood, over the top blood. Swearing and whatnot, that maybe that they leaned too much into it. And sure, maybe they did lean a little much into it, but but they took such a far step back that it's crazy. Like there is no nudity at all. There's very little swearing. There's not even blood. You don't really see blood at all in it. Like it's not as like the first season. Like horrible things would happen to people, and you're just like, oh shit. But this season, none of that happened. It's more of a thought, it's more of a thinking series season. At least this individual season. Now, I did hear that they got a new head writer / showrunner on this season from last year. Because last year, they had the dude who, go figure, they had one of the directors of Deadpool as a showrunner for this. So, go figure. So go figure. So it made a little bit of sense that like maybe it would have been a little bit more over top because this season they have I don't know her name. It's some I think I know it's a woman, but I don't know her name off the top of my head. But they have a new showrunner, and I know it's a woman. And some people might say that maybe she's taking a different approach, and she clearly took a different approach, pulling back on the blood, pulling back on the nudity, pulling back on the violence. Not to say that none of that stuff is in this, because there are episodes that have plenty of violence. But for the most part, most of them are just like winking. Most of the episodes are just winks and nods and little just dark comedy. In fact, there aren't, like, I don't want to spoil this for you, there are no real bad endings. And I was sitting here waiting for the bad ending. I'm thinking, okay, so this is going to be it. So this is going to be it. So this is going to be it. And every episode, the worst ending you get is an ambiguous one where you're like, we don't know what happened. Like, that's the worst ending you get in the 8 episodes. And to me, like, it was just like, I don't know. And some of it didn't make sense. Some of the episodes, I don't want to get into specifics because, because they're so short that me telling you anything about any individual episode would basically be the whole episode. But, like, there are times in every episode, except for a couple of them, maybe 1 or 2, where the story felt a bit incomplete. I mean, I know, it's hard for me to criticize. I only got 12 minutes to tell a fucking story. But at the same time, the season 1 didn't leave me like that. Most episodes of season 1, I was left like, holy shit, I can't believe it ended like that, or, okay. And like, granted, I will say, and I agree, sometimes some of the episodes, like, one episode in particular in season 2, and a bunch of the episodes in season 1 are so good that I'm like, I kind of just want to watch this. Can we watch this? And I'm not gonna lie, there was a part of me that was hoping we would get, like, sequels to old episodes, but I guess we're not gonna get that. But yeah, man, like, dude, I enjoyed I still enjoyed it because it was just fun. Because I like the thing I'm thinking now is maybe the reason I love anthologies, or like I try to watch anthologies, is because you're just kind of sitting there like, I don't know what's gonna happen next. There ain't no such story. You're just like, we'll see. And I think that the shock value, like there's an episode in season 1 where there's like a trash monster in this huge freaking like dump, like this huge garbage dump place, and like you don't even know it's like it just comes out of nowhere. There's a fucking trash monster. You never see what it is. You never, the mystery of what the hell that monster actually is. Like there's so much like season 1 had such a shock value to it. The season 2 seems so tame in comparison. Season 2 feels like I said, maybe it's just me, maybe, it was not for everybody, and I'm good with them pulling back a bit, but they pulled back so far that it was like they just took the fangs out. There's a difference between telling your husband, there's a difference between, calming down. There's a difference between like calming down and just completely shutting down. You know what I mean? There's a difference between slowing down and sitting down. And like it just kind of felt like they took it took a bit of the punch out of everything. No sad endings, no terrifying endings. Nothing shocking happens in any of these episodes. One episode is the most boring thing I've ever seen, and I don't even mind spoiling this shit because it was so ridiculous. There's an episode about some giant guy who washes up on shore. Cool. Seems to take place in a world that looks exactly like ours. The way that it's introduced, it takes place in a world exactly like ours. It's just like, what if a giant washed ashore? Now, first of all, the main guy you're following is like, he's like writing documentary style. He's like, you know, narrating it to some British dude. And you're thinking it's leading somewhere because he's sitting here, he's like, oh, you know, we don't know what happened to this giant. And everyone's so in awe of this giant on the beach. What happened to this giant? And, you know, what is this existence of this giant means for science and your conscience? And like, just spewing off this, you know, pretentious bullshit for like 11 minutes. And you're thinking this is leading to something. You're thinking, I'm thinking the giant's gonna get up. I'm thinking, oh, he's gonna get up or something. Something's gonna, or maybe others will come and pick him up. This guy never asks. Well, first of all, ain't no way in blue hell, it's hotter than red. Blue hell, the government would just leave a giant being sitting on the beach. Have you lost your mind? Like, do you think if a giant being, a dude the size of a freaking New York skyscraper, just showed up on a beach, laying down, you telling me? Okay, he wasn't that big. He's about the size of like a. Let me see. He's bigger than a house, about like Clifford the Big Red Dog size. You know, like Optimus Prime size. Okay, there we go. Optimus Prime size dude. Ant-Man size dude laying on the beach that the government wouldn't come and scoop that motherfucker up immediately. What? Like the dude, when the scientists get there, he's like, we heard rumors about this thing. Rumors? A giant dude laying on the ground. You just heard rumors? That's it? Like, it was such a befuddling thing. Like, I just didn't believe. So I'm already starting off like, I don't buy this shit. Because I don't buy that the government will leave a body there for people to chop up and do all kinds of things with. Like, they're going to leave a giant body there with no explanation. Like, no, they're not going to leave that. They're going to scoop that thing up as soon as they find it. But, and so I already start off not believing it. And then this dude, and then nothing happens. You're waiting for something to happen. And he never asks any of the questions that I wonder. How did this guy get big? Is this a man from Earth? Is this a human who became big because of an experiment? Or is this a big human? Or are there more out there? He never asked the questions. Like, I'm thinking this is going to go somewhere. But no, he just keeps coming back to this body and talking more and coming back to the body and talking more and more he comes back to the body. And it's supposed to be some stupid, like, commentary on how bored people can get because people were all like, yay! And then after a while, they were just like, it's just a dead body, whatever. We don't care. It's a giant, cool. Like I know it's supposed to be that kind of commentary, but nothing happens. It's so boring. And I was just like, I feel like I just wasted 11 minutes of my life. So maybe I am a bit more spiteful because of that, but I'm going to give my rating for season 2 of Love, Death, and Robots. I'd give season 2 a 6, man. I was very disappointed. I was disappointed. Like, especially in comparison to season 1, there's one episode in particular that I really like, and the rest of the episodes I was like, okay, you know, I was fine with. A couple episodes were like well animated and well acted. There's a couple good episodes, but like, it's just, even the good episodes were like, I've seen this shit before. I've been here and seen this before. I came here to see some shocking shit that I just wouldn't see coming. You know, because if you look at the other episodes, the art styles were different. Most of the episodes in this season are all in that 3D, 2D style. Like, nothing's in the 2D style. Like, they did so many different art styles in the first season. But they only do, I'd say out of the 8 episodes, probably 7 of them are all in the same, you know, are in the same 3D style looking, and like, I was just like, even that was a letdown. Yeah, I'd give Love, Death, and Robots, I'd give the season 2, it's getting a 6 from me. So thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show. Please remember to like, subscribe, and check out Love, Death, and Robots season 1 and 2. Like I said, it's a bit over the top, bit gory, bit crazy, but it's cool. And it's one of those shows that kind of get the gears moving if you're a creative person like I am, because you're just like, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool. So thank you guys for joining me. Show again. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.